I love a bitch who never learns.
Come on, white boy of the week.
Why are you like wasting your time on this man with no hairline?
You scissoring? That's crazy.
That's what British people eat for breakfast. That's all that they eat is like weird shit like that.
Why do you think that black names are more like complex? It's white people that really like to shake it up.
Everyone is like astonishingly stupid.
This is a pro-divorce podcast. Don't you forget it.
Girl, this is a game. This is on Peacock.
It's actually called Wellbutrin.
Oh, did you hear that? Did your phone just make a loud screeching noise?
It always does.
Did it hit everyone in the room?
Did it hit everyone in the room?
The sound.
I hear it.
The, dare I say, Ambi alert.
We, you guessed it, have been nominated for an Ambi Award.
Ooh.
Let me say this, heads, one potentially could win big.
Yeah, best entertainment podcast.
So cross your fingers, light some sage.
Yeah,
unless you're Hunter's mom.
I'll say don't boo vote. I'll say Pokemon go to the polls.
Pokemon go to the polls immediately.
What did
Let's stop
Kamala-
referencing like any politician. We're
Stop
recording this on President's Day.
Stop referencing people who like lost.
Yeah. Anyway, how are you?
We were in DC.
I know,
Speaking of politics. Oh my
Uh.
gosh. So we were in DC at the National Museum of Women in the Arts, and we did a fun little hour-long kind of like fireside chat.
Yeah,
Sorry, I'm keeping the
fireside
politics
chat.
like theme going. Sorry. Oh my God, I love Veep so much. It's a show about DC.
I know.
But you were getting so sick of me because everything I was like, oh my God, it's the Capitol building, like from January 6th. Oh my God, that's the White House, like from
Yeah.
Veep.
And I was like, let's wrap it up. Great panel. DC is not the place for me, and it never will be. But it was the place for me when I visited Caleb Land in college at Howard University during the Howard riots. That was when DC was, I was living.
Do you want to talk about your girl?
Do I want to talk about my girl? Of course I want to talk about my girl. Let's talk about Simone.
Simone.
Have you heard of Simone? You have now.
There's something so powerful about Black women named Simone. Simone from the Eaton Hotel DC, who you love, and Simone Club Chalamet, her real name, government name.
I need you to like touch grass once in your life. I'm like, get outside, Hunter. My God.
Sorry.
Doesn't this remind you of Veep? And this reminds me of Club Chalamet. I'm like, oh, we've got to like get
sorry,
out of town.
I'm 19. I'm my internet addled brain can't take real conversation.
I'm getting nervous. You see, I'm sitting up straight. I'm tight. I'm holding my purse
I'm
closer.
wearing red. I'm like Tiger when he wears red. I'm like on the ball.
That's not my ministry. But you know who is Miss Simone from the Eaton Hotel. If you are in DC, one, I'll pray for you. And two, get your ass to the Eaton Hotel. Really, really cute hotel. And also the woman that works there at the front desk, Simone, is my mother.
Oh my gosh, she was amazing.
When I tell you this woman has a pin on her beret for every single minority group. She had like 4 pride pins alone just on one side. And like, you know, queerness looks 100 different ways, but she was definitely giving more ally. And like, because anyone that loves rainbows that much is straight, like, or my mother.
Ally.
Like she was like, oh, there's a speakeasy bar, and like, I got you. Like anyone could go in it. Like I'm a guest here. Like I can enter, but she was like, find me. And I was like, I'm here for 24 hours, babe. I'm not going to the speakeasy bar, but I love you. She has such a positive attitude. She has a great outlook on life. She has 14 pairs of glasses, which she made me choose one before she looked at my passport to check me in.
Because she had different pairs of glasses for like different types of reading.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Love that.
Just different types of vibes.
I love all accessories.
Yeah. She told me I had the face of a painter.
A house painter or like a portrait painter?
I'm gonna just go with one of the greats. Like maybe like she's like, you have the makings of someone big.
Wow, she didn't tell me any of that. But she did say when I was checking out, she did say, oh, sorry, I gotta put my lip on. I was
don't
like,
think you're not checking in or checking out smoothly. You're gonna be there for at least an hour and a half.
You're having a conversation.
Yeah.
You're having an encounter.
Which you should. That's how we should be embracing people. But she and the talk made DC well worth it for me.
Yes. The talk was number 1 for me. And number 2 for me was my man, Mr. K. Mr. K was my Uber driver. You haven't heard this story. This is brand new.
Oh, this is fresh.
Yeah, not fresh. I tried to tell you, but we were busy. Mr. K was my Uber driver from Union Station or the train station to the hotel. And I'm like waiting for this man. And it's like you're looking for an Uber and you're like, is that you? Nope. Is that you? Nope. And this man comes up behind me. He's like, oh, I knew I'd find you. I always find him.
Out of the car?
Yes. Gets out of the car, like basically crosses like a lane of traffic.
Sure.
And is like, and I want you to imagine energetically we get into the car, and when people like are talking, it's like, oh, okay, now I'll go quiet down. No, he would like, your dad would win at least a Golden Globe for playing him. Like he was, I took notes. I literally wrote down stuff that he said because I was like, I don't want to forget it. So we're like talking, and he's like, oh, like, DC right now is so bad.
Yeah.
He's like, listen, I tell young people, save your bullets. Don't shoot each other. Save your bullets.
Save your bullets.
And I love when like a Black man of a certain age is like, what we need to do for our young Black brothers.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what he was like, save your bullets. I was like, oh, totally. And then he leans into the he leans into the radio, and he says, you hear that, Twitter? He said, they're always listening. I was like, oh, I didn't know.
Up until there, I was like very Louis Dix Jr. coded, but now we've gone somewhere else.
So then he's like kind of like talking about God. And I was like, oh my God, you remind me so much of my mom. And he's like, what I do is I call his vertical down to our horizontal so we can settle matters of man.
I'm getting that tattooed on my lower back yesterday. That's how down bad I am right now. He's like, I need that.
He's like, and you know what that signals? You know what that is? I was like, oh, a cross. He's like, oh my God, people don't usually get it.
So I didn't get that, obviously.
And then, didn't grow up in the church. We knew that.
Linear reference.
Then one more thing, we were like driving, and there was this man trying to cross the street, and Mr. K almost hits him. And he's like, come on, man, you're crazy, but you're not that crazy. Get out of the street. I was like,
was it Mr. K's fault or was it the man's fault?
It really was the man's fault.
Oh, okay.
He didn't even look at the light. Yeah, I clocked it. But Mr. K really made my DC experience.
Get to DC, get your Uber from Mr. K, check in with Simone, and then go visit the National Museum of Women in the Arts.
Yes.
You heard it here first.
Yeah, don't do anything else in DC. There's nothing else to do, I promise.
Then get immediately out of there. Yeah.
Oof, this week, we've been watching TV.
Mm-hmm.
We've been pressing play on many things. We're talking about love still being blind. We found love in a hopeless place. A pod. This pod, not the pods.
Did you take an Adderall today?
No, but I think my decaf coffee might have had caffeine in it. We're also be talking about the Traitors, doing a little check-in.
And if you are in line to receive your federally mandated younger hot boyfriend, you're in luck because we watched Bridget Jones, Mad About the Boy, and we'll be talking about that too.
So let me just say this. Are you looking for a home for your worst opinions?
Are you a hater first, but a lover of pop culture second? Consider this a glorified group chat. We're not calling you out. No. We're calling you in. It's a safe space.
To talk shit.
But of course, from Wondery, I'm Peyton Dix.
And I'm Hunter Harris.
And this is Let Me Say This.
Let me say this.
Let me say this.
Let me say this. Let me say this.
I'm a Peacock apologist, okay? She's giving us everything we need right now. Traitors, which we'll get to. Housewives, which I'm hip to now.
Ooh. Cultural appropriation.
Well, you said my culture's not a costume.
It's not.
A hating white woman is not a costume. And it very much is. And thank God, a new Bridget Jones movie. Only on Peacock?
Only on Peacock, which we'll talk about it. I'm like, this deserved a big, wide release. This should have been in theaters. I needed to go with my girls, get a little thing of wine, sit in the theater, sit in a big chair with my feet up. I needed to do that with this movie. I loved it.
I had so much more fun than I thought I would. I also really needed her right now. I really needed a messy bitch.
I know. And let me say this. I love a bitch who never learns.
She is just like me for real.
She truly always has the same exact problem, this man or that one. And I love it. I love a simple life.
And we are really never retiring the age gap relationship. Because one of her men was, how do you say his real name? Leo Woodhall? What's his name?
Leo Woodall.
Which?
That was the name that you had at Triple
I just didn't remember it.
Oh, okay.
God forbid I don't remember a white boy's name. Okay, I'm different now. It's 2025. Okay, we're not at Emerson College anymore. Who really was taking it for me in this, again, same setup, same problem. Bridget Jones. She's kids now.
She's a widow. Spoiler alert. Mark Darcy, Colin Firth, died between the third movie and the fourth movie. And now she's a widow and she has 2 kids and it's trying to kind of breathe some life back into herself.
Get her groove back.
Yeah.
This is the white version of Stella getting her groove back. Yeah. And did.
Yes. And so she meets a younger man, Leo Woodall, whose name is Rockster, which we will get to. And then she also kind of is striking up a little flirtation, but kind of butting heads, like that turns into a flirtation with her son's science teacher.
Yeah. I would almost say spoiler alert, but this movie is exactly what you think it is. So there's really no need.
I kind of like that the like Bridget Jones conceit that it's like one charming hot guy and one like loyal, thoughtful, like a little bit abrasive man.
A little bit abrasive
that,
always.
Like, it's always those. I mean, like I said, why does that need to change?
Yeah,
why should it be any different? It's perfect.
I love math.
It's perfect. I love algebra.
Long division. Okay, anyway. I was going to say, going back to Leo, come on, white boy of the week. I was cooking with Leo.
This is the thing. Okay, I do say this is the thing a lot. I really do say that a lot. Anyway, there's a tier of white boy that's like Timmy, Jacob, Austin. And there's like a tier a little bit below, which might be like Mike Feist, Leo.
Okay.
And it's like Leo's taking it. I would watch him in anything. I really would. He's handsome, but not like, and like just slimy enough to be like sexy, but also like very like smiley and charming.
I find him incredibly charming as piece of shit in White Lotus.
Yeah, 100%.
And also, I was actually charmed by him in One Day, even though I do think it was one of the worst things that Netflix has put out in a while. But he was really charming in it. He has one of those faces that like, oh, you could kind of ruin my life and I'm going to be okay with it.
Yeah. Like he has that chemistry of like, I can't say no. Oklahoma, the musical, can't say no.
Oh.
Like he's just so, of course I have a crush on you. You're so cute.
Yeah.
I do forgive him for One Day, which was maybe the worst thing I've ever seen in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Simply had to start fast forwarding to just get to anything that was happening in that show.
Yeah.
This has made up for that. I was like, oh, I'm so happy that Renee Zellweger earned you.
Yeah. Even though
it's long overdue.
Were you team, I don't know, Rockster? God, that's such a crazy name.
I was thinking about you. I was like, oh, white people and their interesting names.
They always have interesting names. They were so creative. I'm like, why do you think that black names are more like complex? It's white people that really like to shake it up.
Rockster
with an X, I think.
Yeah.
Anyway, Rockster and then Mr. What was his name? Her other love interest? And Mr. Wallaker.
Played by Chiwetel Ejiofor.
Whose team are you on?
It's hard because I listen, I like Rockster a lot, but at the end of the day gonna end. He's not gonna be a father to those children. He's not. He could be like a nanny, like a babysitter for them, but not a father figure.
I mean, barely that. If a man can't text back, he can't take care of kids. Okay?
And like the ghosting of it all, I was like, ugh, this is Renee Zellweger. She's an Oscar. You cannot ghost her.
Can you respect her?
That's so crazy of you. But Mr. Wallach, I was like, when he took off the shirt, I was like, oh my God, wait, you're so ripped. Like you can't be a middle school science teacher looking like this.
With that body. Yeah.
Like what's in your past, Mr. Wallaker? But I thought he was very sweet. I love like the Colin Firth kind of type. I love like the strong, stern, a little bit mean. Reminds me of myself.
And you know what I always love about her? She's gonna like run without a jacket outside in the middle of the snow.
Bridget Jones.
Bridget Jones. Oh, never a jacket on. Never weather appropriate wear.
I did love the boldness with which there were like not a lot of wigs in this movie. Like the Renee Zellweger hair being like looking like a 40-something-year-old woman's hair where it's like, you don't have to look perfect. It's not like.
It could have looked
better, but I thought it felt very real. I liked, it's kind of like Keira Knightley not wearing Botox, not getting Botox for her little Netflix show. It's like, oh wow, you look like a real woman in her 40s. Like I really like that.
I agree. I do think a brush could have lent itself to her head a few
But she was
times,
having sex. She had sex hair.
I was even
blame
talking about
Woodall.
that.
Blame Leo Woodall. How dare you hold a woman accountable for a man's work?
This is getting too heterosexual for me. I'm getting nervous.
Okay, so now your turn. Would you choose Mr. Wallaker or Rockster?
Every time you say that name out loud, it really like gives me an aneurysm because I was like, are we talking about a dog? Is there like a pug in the room somewhere? Like that's what I'm thinking. I would choose Emma Thompson.
Oh, now that is
if
an
I
answer.
Had to. Because like one, I agree. I'm like, this child is too young, but looks so great picking up that little puppy and getting out of that pool. My God.
Yes.
Love eye candy. Very pro that.
Yes.
But then I just like, I can't take a like begrudging, like I can't take a man with an attitude. Like when you have to convince a man to believe in magic.
You only like men with attitudes. Are you kidding?
Who? Not Dwayne The Rock Johnson. So who?
He has an attitude secretly. That's the secret.
Only with Vin Diesel.
Oh.
Because they be beefing.
Wow. You hate him with an attitude.
I do,
Add it
but
to
I
the
love
list.
a wise woman.
Add it to
And
the-
that's
I'm
where I
like-
end.
I loved Emma Thompson in this. I loved her as like the, not like still stern, like surly, kind of like give it to you straight friend.
Wait, also, question. Did you watch the Bridget Jones in between? Because blind spot for me. I didn't
There
even
were
know
two. Well, there's
I didn't
Bridget
watch
Jones'
either.
Diary, Bridget Jones, The Edge of Reason, Bridget Jones' Baby.
that I didn't watch.
That's the one that's like, I completely forgot like what exactly happened. I looked up the summary before I watched Bridget Jones' Man About the Boy.
Yeah.
And basically it's like same kind of setup, but the other man between Mark Darcy is Patrick Dempsey.
Ooh. Tough call.
An American
She is the
tech
most sought
billionaire.
after woman in the world.
And I want what she has.
She stays in a love triangle. She walks so challengers could run. Oh my God. And good for her.
But there is something about Bridget Jones that is so like just pure every woman.
Yeah.
Like I will never give her up. Since she started singing Shaka Khan in Bridget Jones 1, when she said, I choose vodka and Shaka Khan, I was like, oh, no, that's a woman for me.
I love
That's
a woman, a messy woman.
And someone who also pivoted industries from publishing to TV,
To producing.
to producing.
Pivot.
And she saw what was coming. She said, I'm pivoting video first before
She said,
any of
I
the
know
other
where media is
bitches."
going. I'll tell you that. Did you like Nico Parker, Tandy Newton's daughter in it?
Yeah, I thought she was cute.
She's so
I don't
cute.
think I'd ever seen her in anything really. Or no,
Well,
she
was
The Last
in
of Us, of course.
Yeah.
But no, I thought she was so cute and just so like, it's always kind of weird in the, Sex and the City or what's the new Sex and the City called?
And just like that.
And just like that is like a good example of how shoehorned in non-white characters can feel into like an otherwise pretty white property.
Yeah.
And I thought this was like, oh, perfect. Younger, beautiful, like Black nanny who was like so on top of it and so like, oh, already done. Oh, done that. And it's like, oh my God, the next generation is so smart and I'm so stupid.
And I can relate to that. Ugh.
Yeah.
Bridget Jones, the every woman.
I love her little skirt, her little see-through tops.
Yeah,
and,
she's
like,
so cute.
never knows how to dress. Never knows how to dress.
Oh, yeah.
But that's
Well,
part of her
sometimes that
charm.
pisses me off, but I do. I love a see-through top though.
House
Go
was
her.
junky too, but listen, and I said,
Well, that's why Nico
I said,
Parker's
Nico Parker,
there.
please, super nanny. In a crisis, I'm on my way.
And thank God for that.
So, what do we want from the next Bridget Jones movie? What's gonna happen next? We can't end with her and the
interracial children? That's where it's headed.
Oh,
That's where America's headed. No, I'm kidding.
Okay, yeah. No, I want more of her family. I love her parents. I think her parents have like such a funny dynamic.
I
Her
love
dad
her parents.
died like in the narrative, but her mom is so like, just stir it, Una.
Ugh, kooky parents. I wish I had that. Kind of do.
What are you talking about? How dare you?
Yeah. My dad's a comedian and my mom's a Scorpio. So yeah, I have kooky parents. What do you want next for them?
I'd do it all over again. I'd find another young boy. Find another 20-something.
This is a pro-divorce podcast. Don't you forget it. My God. It's about time we checked in on our traitors. It's been a minute. It's been a while.
I feel like I want to do like a Carolyn face.
Oh, don't trigger me. Carolyn stresses me out.
But at the same time, I need her to win.
And I'll do a Danielle shake. Like, what the? These are the two most stressful traitors in Traitors history. I
It's
can't
like
take them.
everything they do, all their problems are self-imposed.
And it's like so interpersonal. I'm like, you guys are you're still playing a game. You're not just like bickering at like the dinner table. It's so crazy.
They are taking it so seriously.
I kind of want like neither of them to win. I'm at a point. Sorry, I know I stood by Carolyn so hard before.
Wow, you're faithful at heart.
God forbid.
No.
Like I said, love her.
No. When you say you're a lover, it's always like, oh, totally. When I say I'm a lover, everyone's like, well, get out of here.
Yeah. Well.
But I'm a lover of Traitors. This season has been so good.
So
Except
fun.
for Dorinda getting off first episode.
Yeah.
Dorinda, my sister, who I met at the cut party last week. And
You did.
talk about a meeting of the minds. No, we go together hard.
I actually
Dorinda
saw
and
you
I.
walk in and I was like, oh, that's the girl that says, not well, bitch, and Hunter. That's like, again, my allyship.
Of her many works, that's what you reference?
Well, that one's like the most like gift.
No, she's starting.
Okay. Anyway, Back to Traitors.
Let's
Okay,
get back
we're
to
on
the
a
holy
different
text.
episode of Peacock.
Okay, a few moments I want to talk about this season.
Yeah.
Bob the drag queen at the round table. That was a very good round table. Boston Rob at the round table, like misdirecting, getting everything. Even him coming for Brittany at the round table.
Yeah.
That was a really good one. Sierra, of course.
You were the only one that thinks Sierra had a good round table.
The first
debate.
nice nurse.
I'll hold my breath until that
Being
happens.
like, I could never lie. I'm a nurse. I loved that.
No, ridiculous.
And then Wes with a very MAGA beard, like kind of like Irish MAGA.
And he was like, I hate all of you, bye. And I was like, well, damn.
Even
all right.
before
like
that, at his round table, when he was like about to get eliminated, and he was like, if anyone votes for me, you're gonna be on my list. All 5 of you, you're on my list. And then Brittany votes for him, and she's like, make it 6, Wes.
Wait, I don't even remember that. These roundtables have been it's so different than last season, but it's still not even okay. Let's not just roundtables, even though I do think Sierra in her flop era, and also spoiler alert, Sierra getting kicked off, I will say, kind of cracked me up.
But I love the outfit she was wearing when she got kicked off. Those boots were made for walking.
God, but she was just not taking it from me in this game, and now she was like huffing and puffing and making matters worse for her. But that didn't move me at all. But I will say an elimination that hurt me. Chrishell. I wanted to keep
that was a murder. That wasn't an elimination.
Oh well, same thing. A death, if you will.
All right,
death can look 100 ways.
I love that Carolyn, Danielle, like acting in that moment, like they were really killing that, really killing it. Like, you're just too faithful. I was like, girl, this is a game. This is on Peacock.
Wait,
all
but
right?
Chrishell's acting was kind of taking it. She was like doe-eyed. Can I ask, why me? I was like, oh, get her a little cameo somewhere.
No, I mean, I love Chrishell, but Carolyn and Danielle, I'm like, how are you guys locked in together in this one moment? Like, just
now you're a united front. All right.
But no, I loved Chrishell, R.I.P.
Yeah.
I am honestly, okay, who are you shocked is still alive? Because I have many people that I'm like, how is this man still kicking?
Well, let's start with someone who's actually taking it from here now, Tom Sandoval.
Oh.
He's just like too dumb to kill, I guess. But like in the same, and he just makes great TV because let's talk about this most recent episode, I think it was, where they had to do the singing challenge. They just sing nursery rhymes backwards. Watching that man take that job so seriously.
To be clear, after we were in DC, I have not smiled all week.
Yeah.
But Tom Sandoval singing to the like, actually, I was laughing so hard I was crying.
No,
I couldn't stop. I couldn't stop.
It was a hymn.
So funny. And the way that he was like, hey, get on it, Ivor, stop. Like, and even what Alan was like, Ivor, you're your own man. You don't have to listen to him.
And there's nothing better when Alan Cumming breaks character.
Yeah.
It so rarely happens, but when he was listening to Tom sing, he was like, no, I can't believe my ears right now.
And then
like,
Gabby in the main house being like, ooh, record deal incoming. Like, ooh.
He is like, at the same time, Tom Sandoval is the most unserious man and also the most dead-ass man that's ever existed.
He didn't come to play with you hoes. He came to sing.
And I hope he takes it to the finish line. No, I don't want him to win, but I want to keep him on.
I would have him win. It's just like him with the goggles and the creepy crawly challenge.
Oh, yeah.
Him with the pit stain.
Just every cutaway to him. His facial expressions are the most intense things I will ever take in with my 2 eyes.
Yeah, someone in the newsletter group chat was like, we're watching Strung Out Willy Wonka. Like, he fully is like going through like withdrawal to some degree.
Somehow.
And then, of course, at this round table, when he's like, oh, well, we all know that women make the best cheaters. And it was like, he's like, oh, I didn't mean it.
I haven't seen a united front until that moment where everyone was like, are you fucking joking?
But even like Sam and Ivor, poor Ivor. Ivor kept his cool during that creepy crawly like challenge. Because I was like, girl, that's what British people eat for breakfast. That's all that they eat is like weird shit like that. And Ivor even was like, Tom Sandoval, what?
Yeah, like don't. He was like, oh, I meant traitors. Traitors. I'm sorry. He's taking it. He's cracking me up. I hate that I'm giggling every time I see him on screen. What next?
On the cusp of a Pump Rules watch.
I'm going to ask you the same question. Yeah. Who are you surprised is still there?
Who am I surprised is still there? Ivor, I'm surprised he's still there. I'm also surprised Brittany is there because of how is Sierra getting all the suspicion and Brittany's getting like none?
Yeah.
I mean, Boston Rob did not do a very good job of like trying to put it around on her, but still, I think she's like such an obvious like
person to knock out.
Yeah, yeah.
It almost happened. I felt like there started to be a little fire there, but then people got too distracted by Bob and, or not Bob. What's the other one?
Boston Rob.
Rob and Sierra.
Yeah, yeah. And I am surprised that Dolores. I'm surprised she's still there.
Well, her and her cheekbones can say, I'm actually surprised Danielle is still there. The shaking and weeping and withering away. I'm like, girl, get up.
Have you noticed like all like the kind of post interviews like of the cast, both on Peacock and like in media, everyone is like either so surprised that Danielle is a traitor, or it's like obviously she's a traitor and so shocked that Carolyn is a traitor. So I think they are.
Yeah.
What we're saying is like not what they're saying in the house. Like that she is playing a pretty good game, but I don't like the way that she acts at breakfast.
Oh my God. Yeah, I know.
It's just so like,
I think Carolyn's playing a better game than her though. Because Carolyn's like perfectly under the radar, but like engages enough and like doesn't act so manic when like someone leaves or gets killed or whatever.
The thing about Carolyn too is that I feel like she's, oh my God, that Sprouse from Riverdale. She's weird. She's not like other girls.
I'm a weirdo. Okay.
Like, she really is. So you don't know, is she being weird because she's a traitor or is she being weird because like, that's just how she is?
That is just her vibe.
Listen,
and both things can be true.
I love my neck tattoo queen.
You do not. Now you're an ally to a neck tattoo.
Now to that neck tattoo,
Okay.
totally. Yes, I am. I kind of want her to be on Love Is Blind so we can get like a description of every tattoo she has because that's all they talk about on Love Is Blind these days.
Oh God. No.
But who do you want to see, if anyone, return? Because they tease that Parvati is coming back for a little challenge, and I was like, oh, Parvati.
But not to play, right?
No,
just
no,
come
no,
back and,
just like
guy
an
or
appearance.
whatever.
Yeah, a cameo.
Oh, I don't really think I care about a cameo. I like the people that we have. Like, It didn't do anything for me to see.
I would do a Boston Rob cameo. I love me some Boston Rob.
You sound just like me. The tables in this room have turned. Let me
One
tell
thing
you
about
that.
them tables.
Woo, they gonna be turning. Because suddenly Hunter is a Boston Rob fan cam and a neck tattoo enthusiast.
The
Life
Boston
comes
is
at you
rubbing off on me. I feel like I've talked about this before with you, like, and maybe real naysayers will remember. I always fast forward through Traitors challenges because they're always so boring. It's like, I don't want to go to a moat. I don't want to see a big field. I don't want to do any of that stuff. But this season, the challenges have been so good.
Yeah.
The singing one was so good. Even the like carrying the big like Easter Island heads up the whatever, that one was really good. And of course the singing one within the doll's house. I was like, I'm loving this.
I just really don't relate to you at all, by the way.
Oh, you're not here, the
Period.
girls?
No, I love watching the challenges. Haggis, do you remember that challenge? That was one of the most formative challenges I've ever watched. Watching those housewives scream and throw up when all those bugs fell on them. But
I think the thing is that I'm raised on Survivor challenges. Like, I love an endurance challenge. I love 24-year-old Parvati hugging a pole,
with
one foot in a bikini. Like, I'm sorry, like
body so
goals.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God.
Okay, I can hear that because I also like this American Ninja Warrior where they have to go through the shapes in like a. So I can hold space for that. I hope we got a close up of me making that crazy shape with my body. But I think they're so entertaining, and I specifically like watching them because I like watching Alan Cummings' reactions. But this season, I think they've done a really good job on letting the challenges inform how people might vote or like keeping it playful and engaged in a way that's actually exciting.
The challenges do feel like, okay, it's like more about who's like being selfish, and less about like, are we adding money to the pot, which is never going to be an interesting like conceit for me on the show when like the actual winnings is like $150 and like maybe a Chick-fil-A gift card.
And a bus ticket. That's it. But I will say the challenge that I was surprised Danielle survived was when Danielle, remember when you could like put someone to save?
Oh, yes.
If you won the challenge. She kept winning and she kept putting other people to save besides herself.
Yeah.
I'm so surprised that didn't tell on her in a bigger way.
And because the person who clocked it was Derek, and that like they're really good friends. I think that's why. I'm also surprised that Danielle did not like bring Derek on, like recruit him to be a traitor. But you know what I don't like though? I don't like people talking about Danielle's braids. They look bad, but that's not for you to talk about.
Well, I can say it.
Yeah, but I mean white people.
Yeah.
Because
I was like, I think I said it on this podcast about a few weeks ago. But
not you. Not you.
But you know who we have to talk about before we wrap it up?
Ooh, my favorite long-winded gal.
Woo-hoo! Gabby Windy.
Gabby.
Queen things. Ugh.
If she went all the way, I would be so happy. You know what? White Lotus now. I need her on the White Lotus right now.
Oh my God, yeah. What do they call themselves? It's only her left, or I guess her and Dolores.
Bambis. They Bambis?
Oh wait, it wasn't Dolores. It was the other one. Yeah, the brown-eyed Bambis.
Yeah.
Or the Bambis, whatever. Sister, queen, mother, auntie on a good day.
She is the sister I never had.
Uh-huh.
She is
The friend everybody would want.
mother everyone deserves. I don't know a better person.
I don't know a better person at all.
Who did I quote that to? And they had no idea what I was talking about. I was like, oh my God, just
anti-black.
kidding.
I will say that interview, that photo shoot that she tore in the cut, but the interview where she specifically said, I would love to come from old money. I'm begging to come back as a Nepo in my next life. Like that is a quote. That is my sister.
Yeah.
You should give
her your shot.
So this is the thing. Actually, let's talk about Nepo babies, okay? Because the Nepo she's implying comes from money. That's not my truth. That's not my calling. But my friend Hannah, she was like, you're a Nepo baby in the sense that some of my aunts and like grandparents were Black Panthers. And she was like, that's a cultural nepotism. Like I was in Paris and saw a book that my great aunt wrote. And I was like, oh my God, my great aunt wrote this. And this girl was like, that's so crazy. She was a Black Panther. And my friend was like, ooh, nepotism. I was like, she had a baby in jail. And she's like, still, cultural nepotism. You're in Paris and you found a book your aunt wrote. I was like, okay, so that's the kind of nepotism, not that Gabby Windy, I think, is looking for, but I'm happy to share the pot.
Honestly, I wouldn't put it past her.
Yeah, actually, I could see Gabby would be a Black Panther.
She really would.
She probably would, actually. Queen. Gabby, pod sister, lesbian sister, if you will. If you're listening to this, this is you. This is a call to action.
We're not calling you out. We're calling you in.
To talk shit on this podcast. Please. Please.
I feel like a little baby. Please, 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 please. I have a very serious medical condition where like every 4 to 6 months, I need to watch two people who have never met in person go into a room together alone and talk to a wall and hopefully fall in love, only to leave someone at the altar like 2 weeks later.
There's a treatment for that, actually.
And it's on Netflix.
It's actually called Wellbutrin. But or Lexapro. But tell us about Love is Blind.
I know, like crank it up a notch. No, I need more of it actually. So Love is Blind season 8 is in Minneapolis, and it is kind of the whitest season in a while.
Oh my! I think there's one Black couple.
Yeah.
1.5. If you know what I'm saying.
Ooh,
sorry,
not your own people.
Oh,
this season is both like vexingly boring.
Thank you.
But everyone is like astonishingly stupid.
See, that's what confused me though, the way that you seem to have locked in, because I was like, oh, I'm in my chains right now. Hunter is putting me in my chains I'm in shackles on my ankles, on my fucking wrists watching this show.
Ooh, not that.
I was watching at 1.5x speed, like trying to get through it. But I have ADHD, so I can watch it like that.
Yep. Okay, I understand. Basically, this season, it's like, I think they said in the first episode, that's like bigger and like more couples and more people this season. Because after, I don't know if you remember the seasons that were like kind of in the trenches where they had like maybe 2 couples make it out of the pods.
Yeah.
I would honestly prefer more boring people than like that, where it's like Lydia and Uche and Milton. Like, I don't want to deal with that again. But so it's much bigger cast, much whiter season. Everyone talks crazy because of the Minneapolis accents.
Yeah.
It's like a little bit too Midwestern.
And we'll get to someone with a Black scent too in a minute.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Skirt. Did you hear that? I said, no, Hunter really does have me in my chains. Now, why am I listening to a white girl go, skirt?
Wait, I totally did not even clock that part.
Oh my God.
Okay, but a few people that I want to talk about from the beginning.
Yeah.
Madison.
The one that's been through everything?
Yes.
Yeah, trauma.
Madison, Meg, you said, Sarah and Ben and Black Lives Matter, and Brittany. Okay, so in the newsletter chat while we're watching Love is Blind, someone said, Brittany girl, denial is a river in Egypt.
Your husband is gay.
But she was the one who was like, I have had experiences with women and I love women.
Oh, that was a bisexual.
Yeah. Oh, excuse me, Brittany. That's how you say her name. I'm going to okay, Peyton.
No, well, I don't do it like that. You do, but oh yeah, wait, that was, I forgot I wrote down in my notes, like, what are we doing? The repression is too strong here. I'm too tired.
I really was trying to see it for her. Like, I thought she's amazing. First of all, she's so nice. She's so funny. She is beautiful.
Body,
she
yada,
has
fat ass.
a like big heart.
Yeah.
But I was like, why are you like wasting your time on this man with no hairline?
Oh my God. And no curl pattern.
It's like, how is that?
He always looks
possible?
like the wind hit him. You know what I mean? Like,
but also sweating too in every shot.
Couldn't be me.
Okay, but yes. But what do you think about Brittany and her arc?
Well, let's come clean and say I only got through the first 4 episodes.
Oh, so you haven't gotten to where like she says that she is.
No, I got to like that was in episode 4.
And they like leave the conversation and then he
and he's like, I need to think about this. Yeah. And I'm like, so we've got to grow together. And it's right after he gives this whole speech about being like, I was addicted to ibuprofen. And I found
you
no
look at the camera.
Sorry.
Is that a real addiction?
I grew up in LA. Okay, let me talk about some addicts, all right? But like, I was like, I'm going to hold space for that. But then the God conversation, I'm like, here we go again. There's always, these bitches love God. God is everywhere. God is good.
They're trying to bring his vertical down to our horizontal to settle matters of man.
But like following that with her being like, yeah, I'm not even like, couldn't even stand 10 toes on being queer. She was like, I just dated women but could never marry them. Okay, me in 6th grade. Sorry, no offense. Let's move past that.
But I think that's like, she's on her way maybe to like coming to terms with it. Because it was really the way she was like, oh, I've been in relationships with women, but I'm not going to marry them. It's like, so how does like marriage come like partitioned off from your full life? But also that's so life? Like
the amount of repression to even say that is so like, come on, let's do better. And then you're telling this man who's like, you scissoring? That's crazy. I got to go to God about this. Like, I got to talk to the homies. Like, first of all, women scissoring, hot, more of it. More women fucking always. Like, you should be like so grateful to get a bi queen. Like, how lucky. Bi dick, bi pussy goes crazy.
Bumping purses.
Hunter learned what bumping purses means, and now it always says it. Like when she puts a phone next to another phone to share a contact, Hunter under her breath will go, bumping purses. And that's on Hunter being a closeted bisexual.
I stand by it. That's we're bumping purses. I'm getting your number, we're bumping purses.
But I didn't even feel entertained by it because I was so like, this feels so beneath me to even be like, maybe beneath me from LA. So like I came out when I was 18, which is still late, but yeah, I didn't love them.
Everyone has their own journey. Okay, Meg with the black scent. Tell me about this.
Meg with the black scent skirt.
Who's
based on a novel Pushed by Sapphire.
Everyone in this show looks the exact same. Let me pull.
Well, that's what I was saying. Like, there's too many white people that all look the same. They all have like a mix of blonde and brown hair.
The really chatty one. The like the human Adderall. Mm-hmm. Yes,
she's the one that's dating in that little.
Mason.
Thruple. Yeah,
yes. She's dating Mason with Madison.
Mm-hmm. And every time she tells a colorful story, which I respect, somewhere she gets lost in the telling of it and finds a black scent that pops out in a way that really needs to be shut down immediately. And she does it not just to her black friends on the show, like the other black girls. She does it to everyone. And everyone's kind of listening with one ear, but I can feel that the other black girls are like, who taught you to talk like this?
Yes, it is. First of all, I love that you hate a long-winded bitch all of a sudden. That's so...
Self-hate is important to growth.
But no, Meg, I think my thing with Meg is that she's so like, girl, what are you talking about? It's like we need to do like a check-in every 5 seconds. You're like, sister, where's the story? Like we need to find a common thread.
She does too much for me. And was she the one that was like, were they the one talking about movies? Because we need a federal investigation into the her of it all.
The her, the Inception. And was there a third one?
No, it was her, it was Inception, and it was Moulin Rouge. She was like, I love when people love underrated, like, indie movies. Like the blockbuster Moulin Rouge. Don't piss me off.
Like, schools need to be opened today, right now. Open the schools right now. That was so, like... I can't think of a more on the nose, like, oh, you're talking to a woman through a wall that you've never met in real life, and you say she has a sexy voice, like, duh, her.
The things that turn these people on make me sick. I know they're all having missionary sex.
The inception of it all, too. I'm like, is this like a BuzzFeed article from like 2014?
But that's where one of my favorite little quotes come from. You must dream a little bigger, darling. We've done this before. Tom Hardy.
I'm not. Okay. Yeah, I know. I'm not going to even get into that. Okay, what I do want to talk about, though, is Sarah Sarah, my white sister, talk about standing on business. So Sarah and Ben are talking in the pods. Ben is like, white boy, just he's so nothing. He's like a glass of milk with like oatmeal in it. Like just so nothing of a person.
Yeah.
Sarah, white blonde girl, and she's like summer 2020 really like radicalized me, and I like think about injustice and inequity a lot.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, do you think about these things? And he's like, I don't really have an opinion. She's like, do you think about Black Lives Matter? And he's like, I don't even know. The just like the that he was so caught off guard by even like this is something that he should be like thinking about at all was so crazy to me. And it was crazy to her too.
Which good, thank God. She was like, that was my man until he said, I want to, quote, stay out of it. He was like, I just keep out of that stuff. Like it's something to engage in a way that's like
it's Gracie Abrams.
What?
I say it at Gracie Abrams.
Okay. And now where'd the point go? Oh my God. But it was such an like lazy answer. And it was so, one, shout out to my queen Sarah, but two, I was like, oh yeah, like have you ever dated someone or even just like gone on a date with someone that was like, oh, like politics, like yo.
Never. And I think there was a moment too in the pods when like the men are talking and someone's like, oh, it's weird that like now on dating apps, they like, you ask if they're like conservative or liberal. And I'm like, that's always been the case. Like even that's always been a part of like apps. Oh, okay, but, too good.
Sorry. Not now. It's like I'm not going to stand on anything. But I was going to say, even when he goes back to his boys in the like boy pod area, and he's like, I feel like if she saw me, she would know. Like she would know the way. If she dated me, she would know the way I move. I'm like, the way you move doesn't be like, oh, he's pro Black Lives Matter. Like what?
But I was so like not charmed, but I was like I was moved. I was very moved watching her be like, this is like really important to me because this says so much about how you see the world, how you want to see other people.
Yeah.
And then immediately I'm thinking like, okay, if he's like this, what are his parents like? What are his siblings like? What are his friends like? And he's like, I think later too, you might not have gotten here yet, but they have another conversation about it. And he's like, well, I don't want it to be like you educating me, kind of being like, if you need me to get to a certain level, it's not your responsibility, but not really giving her any confidence that he will like become more curious about the world that surrounds him, about people in America.
Yeah.
And it was just so like, ugh, girl, they're about to fall the fuck out over like him saying something crazy about Nicki Minaj.
Oh. And Nicki Minaj will be part of that too. She'll be like, and what? And I heard what? Banging on Netflix's door.
Okay, now Madison.
Oh, she's been through it.
This is the thing. I liked Madison at first.
Mm-hmm.
And she's a Leo. So
yeah, it shows.
You know what that means. But then at a certain point, I was like, girl, what is happening? What is happening?
Yeah.
The way that she plays the boy that she clearly is not that into, Mason.
Yeah.
Against like the other boy.
I wouldn't know their names.
Yeah, whoever.
Two white boys against each other.
And she's so like trying to get Mason to like meet her intensity and like trying to get him to like say how he feels about her, like give her this reassurance, and only to be like, oh, just kidding, I don't even really like you at all. And then gets mad at him for having another woman he wants to pursue. Whether he liked Meg from the beginning and like that was always his number one choice is, debatable. But the way that it shakes out with Madison like talking down to him and being like, you try to get two women, you actually will get none. I'm like, girl, that's not your decision.
Yeah. Also, I feel like I could kind of sense her ego from the jump in a way that was like getting in the way of her actually making real connections with these people.
Yeah.
And then I saw her twerk in her little negligee and then call it twerking. Actually, let's be clear. It was not twerking. She was shaking her ass left to right, offbeat at best, and was like, I just twerked. And he's like, you crazy girl. And she was like, yeah. And I'm a little dress too. I'm in a little mini skirt. Did I tell you I'm in my micro mini skirt?
That was actually crazy to me.
I'm pro ho.
These aren't hoes.
These aren't. No, they're not.
Hoes.
I wish they were hoes. It would be more interesting. But
yeah.
It was just like, what are we doing here? And I got to get out of town.
Madison is taking it for me as like the like really like most over the top, like the Bartice of this season, like just puzzling to a degree that I cannot even put into words. But then Virginia is weird. Sorry.
Wow. This season is not doing it for me right now in a way that I feel disappointed. But do you just feel like it's just your fix? Are you kind of?
I'm a pig at slop.
Ugh.
I'm just put it in the little barrel, and I'm Charlotte. Charlotte's Web?
Oh, Charlotte and Charlotte's Web. Nepo baby. It was my school play.
I'm not even going to touch that. Anyway, I will continue watching because I want to see how this shakes out. And I really want to see Madison go to the cocktail party and act a fool.
Well, I can't wait to find out about it through you. I've got to press pause. This is not good for my well-being. Well, that's it for this week. As usual, we are 2 online, so you don't have to be.
You know, yet another episode of mostly Peacock promo.
And that's something to be studied.
They should cut us a check, I think.
Something to be studied financially. And Netflix needs to cut you a check for all your damn Love is Blind promo, my God.
And I also need to cut flashcards of all these people because I cannot tell any of them apart.
No.
But if you're in DC, find Simone.
Let me